top 1 qualifies. So it's pretty easy. You just gotta win Dota games, and then you're rewarded. Now, my car's got Wingblade here with me as well. Looks like we're in for an earlier Dark Willow ban, but I don't know. It seems like Empire's draft last game had a little bit to be desired, specifically in how they operated within it.
Yep, I agree. We'll see what they do this time, but I think they're gonna switch things up. Maybe they're not gonna go for an aggressive tri lane and just play a defensive one or put some more emphasis on mid. I think we're gonna find out.
You had like a solid set of dual lanes, something like that. Razor is still in the pool, and there's a non-zero chance that Empire just grab that if it's still in the pool.
Yeah, it's a very flexible hero. Just a strong laner. There's the Tuskman. I don't want to deal with that this game.
Yeah, Razor, Sand King, these type of heroes. They could always just throw it all out the window and try something completely different, but I don't know, playing these, like, I guess you could think of this format as like a whole bunch of BO1s, since, like, you know, winning 2 games, you get 2 points, winning 1 game, you get 1 point, so, like, there's no extra reward there, so I guess there's no, like, real punishment for just playing your, like, kind of weirder strats.
I agree. Tiny is also still in the pool. Could be a good pickup for either team.
Gyrocopter, ignored last game, which is weird as hell, still in.
I think these teams are just ahead of the meta. They don't need Tiny and Gyro. They just...
Gentleman's agreement. We're not going to do it.
That's a possibility too. Who knows? Bane. It's just one of those heroes that fits into every draft. You just have this strong lane hero and then the BKB piercing disable. And I think you mostly pick this hero because he's just so strong in lane. He trades favorably with nearly every single offlaner. I love having this hero in my pubs, because it means that my other support can just do whatever he wants on the map.
Yeah, I feel like there's... If you're gonna pick up something in the first phase, they have to be, like, so overwhelmingly powerful or, like, really, really flexible. And, like, Tiny is kind of both. Like, he kind of does just everything well because he's a balanced hero, but Bane, like, as far as what he does in the support role and how much he locks down that lane, he's, I mean, not seen probably as much as he was a couple of patches ago, but still, he's one of those ace heroes, just making sure that your lane is going to go well. And if you're going up against a hero like Gyrocopter, who already has kind of low base damage, if you just get a single point in Feeble, or over in the mid lane where heroes sometimes can have more or less attack damage, like, that could just be an instantly one lane right there. Just drop your entire mana pool and then Feebles on that guy and you're good to go.
Ooh, early lifestealer pick. This is very likely to get punished. But I guess they have the opportunity to ban the Razor, but still, these early lifestealer picks, they're really risky. Lifestealer doesn't have the best matchups against every single hero.
Seems like they value highly the matchup versus Tiny, which is pretty good for the lifestealer. AA, you would think it's like,
10 seconds
you know,
remaining.
you stop him from stealing life. It sounds good, but it usually doesn't work in that way.
I mean, it's nice, but AA is also a hero that has no way of getting out if lifestealer goes on him. With a Terrorblade ban, that's unsurprising.
Your, like, vortex movement speed or whatever, it doesn't slow down the lifestealer if he's raged, so you move a little bit faster, but with open wounds it doesn't really matter for much.
Exactly. I'd be very surprised to not see the Razor banned out.
Well, FlyToMoon take out the Batride or the Puck. Two Ghost Stick heroes for sure, but also heroes that work really well with the lifestealer and initiation heavy.
And they're very good against a hero like AA. That's not that great in lane. I mean, he's good, but if a hero goes on him, even in lane, he's not gonna have any escape. It's not like a Tusk or like a Rubik who can throw heroes away. If you go on an AA, he's probably going down.
Empire, yeah, I mean, that Razor just isn't...
Ooh.
I mean, that's a reasonable ban. As far as you're with the Bane, you're with the Lifestealer, so that song and the net cancel. Net pierces Rage, obviously. It's really good with AA. It's like you can see where they're coming from, but Razor kind of just crushes Lifestealer.
10 seconds remaining.
See, that's the problem with such an early lifestealer pick. There's so many heroes that are good against him. So now you give FlyToMoon quite some options. But I think the reason they're doing this is because lifestealer is not really going to be the biggest core. You never pick like your position 1 this early, so it's probably going to be a lifestealer safe lane, but I don't think he's going to be position 1. So I think they're just trying to bait out all the lifestealer counters and then just pick a hero that is good against those heroes. It's like the drafting mind games.
It's like while they're overcommitted to Lifestealer counters, suddenly slide in there with like a little heavier hitter mid lane or something like that, like a OD type hero.
Yeah, well, something like a Brute, you know.
Okay.
Brute last pick is always scary.
And AA has 0 game versus Broodmother. Tiny is not terrible.
Tiny is decent, but you need more.
Mm-hmm. Dude, there's some like serious thinking going on here. For FlyToMoon, it is most of the time just going to be their secondary support. With the Ancient Apparition, you don't really need that much. Like most heroes in the 4 position work pretty well with AA.
Yep.
Who's it going to be though?
We'll know where this Tiny is gonna go to. I know that Iceberg likes playing it, but this hero is so flexible, he can go anywhere.
You've actually seen Tiny in every single role. I have at least.
Yep.
Support Tiny is not really sure if I was a big fan of that, but Earthshaker picked up. Again, you don't really need a lot to make this Ancient Apparition work, and Earthshaker is gonna be a not terrible hero at doing that. Long range cancel versus Bane, and though it's not BKB piercing, a fissure to kind of wall off Lifestealer, it's not the best, but it might work sometimes.
I have a feeling there's not going to be a Brute from Empire. Just a feeling.
Wait a minute. You mean to say that Earthshaker is a decent answer to Broodmother?
Pretty decent.
What is this? Unless they really get into the mind games of FlyToMoon and pick it up last, then it's like, wow, the mind games are so deep. They're going to make those decisions, even though they seem bad. Oh, we have a new hero, PogChamp. I don't know.
Seems I really like this hero.
Yeah, this is the type of hero that I think it's like on the radar for some teams and just like completely ignored for others. It really just goes by a team basis.
10 seconds.
I haven't seen Empire play it at all though. Have they picked it? Let me check.
5 seconds.
This is my first Empire game since the release of this guy.
3 weeks ago. And there's the Razor. This is a very, very sad lifestealer. He's not gonna lifesteal and he's not gonna have damage.
Well, I mean, Pangolier is...
10 seconds.
I mean, he does pretty much a little bit of everything. He's very, very disruptive. I think that's probably like the thing that's on top of assets he gives to the team is he messes up their formations. If you're someone like an Earthshaker or AA, you really don't want to be playing the trying to catch Pangolier game. That's not fun. As far as damage he does, it does ultimately over the course of the fight add up to a decent amount, but it is going to be kind of like a secondary damage source. You need someone else to really lay it in, and since the Lifestealer is now effectively neutered by this Razor, I don't know if they have enough damage.
It depends a lot on his item build too. If he goes for like a few javelins or a maelstrom, his damage is gonna be quite high. But most Pangoliers these days, they just go for items like Lotus, Crimson, and Pipe.
Radiant team back.
So
that's the Queen of Pain again. I guess FN really likes his Quap. I still feel like they lack this big hero that's gonna carry them. So I don't think Quap Lifestealer Pangolier is going to outcarry Tiny Razor +1.
10 seconds remaining.
Might be a position 4 Pangolier.
5 seconds.
I feel like it's like a 70-30 split between position 3 and position 4 Pangolier. Like most of the time, it's going to be
in favor of which one?
Most of the time it's off lane.
I mean, generally, yes, but this game, I would be surprised if it was offlane.
Yeah, I mean, the scaling from Empire, like, if they weren't up against this Razor, I would say this is pretty reasonable. Like, you have this mobility from the Pango and the Queen of Pain. The Lifestealer can kind of ride on top of that, and, you know, you should be able to kind of pick your targets freely, but that Razor just puts so much of a damper in their game plan.
The one thing I see going for Empire is they are super, like, they're a snowball lineup. If they start winning, they're gonna win really hard. They have the Infest ganks, they have a Pangolier creating chaos, they have a Quap. So this game, even more so than last game, they just need to be ahead because their late game matchups are not great. So I hope they have their rotations a bit more figured out this game. Don't lose so many heroes. They really need this early game to go well.
They just get a really hardcore roaming 4 position.
Remaining.
Try to get that aggressive train rolling early on. Kill off a Shaker or an AA a couple times. Clockwork is looking pretty good here.
Yep, Clock is nice.
That's not Clockwork.
Or a nice Spirit. Yeah, this is... they're not gonna pick a scaling offlaner like I thought at first. They're just going full momentum Dota. This is gonna be CIS run at you.
And this is kind of like a similar strat where if they do get ahead off of that run at you plan, it's smooth sailing. But if they have any hiccups, then, you know, Queen of Pain farming from behind or playing from behind. We saw it last game. It's underwhelming, and Lifestealer is kind of the same way. As FlyToMoon pick up the DK as their last.
Yeah,
So,
it's gonna be DK mid. It's one of the best matchups you can have against Quap. Quap normally relies on harassing a lot with Dagger and forcing people out of lane. And then DK just ignores all of that with his insane regen. And then as soon as DK gets a blink, Quap has to play really defensively. So they're gonna try to lane the Razor against the Lifestealer probably. It's just a great matchup, and then the DK is gonna have a favorable matchup. So Team Empire is really gonna rely on their rotations a lot because their lanes from an equilibrium position are not looking so great.
yeah, we're looking at Razor v Lifestealer. Assuming FlyToMoon get the lanes they want, it's Razor v Lifestealer. Overwhelmingly Razor favored. DK versus Queen of Pain. I wouldn't say it's like overwhelmingly DK favored, but they're going to be very happy that they have that matchup. And then Tiny with an AA, with potentially a Shaker as well. Like, it may be difficult to actually pin down and kill off a Pango, but you should be able to get some farm regardless of that fact. So,
Yep,
FlyToMoon,
you have like twice his damage.
Yeah, I feel like FlyToMoon's just standing lanes are pretty damn difficult for Empire to overcome. You need some serious Earth Spirit plays early on. Like, you got to make something happen, but even then, it's like you're trying. Are you frozen in the screen as well?
I am. It's
Okay.
because it's paused.
Okay, yeah, mine was just completely not moving. But you're in Earth Spirit. It's hard to gank these cores. Like, all 3 of these cores are bulky as hell, and Earth Spirit really having the control, but not that much damage. So it's like, who's actually doing damage to kill off this 900 health Tiny, or this DK with so much armor?
Yeah, I'm worried for Empire too. They can maybe try to get some kills on the supports, but ultimately you're gonna have to start killing cores. So they need a good matchup on this Lifestealer. If he gets a few items and he's actually in a position where a gank of Earth Spirit plus Lifestealer kills a hero, then they're gonna be in a really good spot. If not, I don't see them having a chance.
Well, Lifestealer is looking like he has a little bit of a mid setup there. There's definitely a high chance that we're gonna have a lot of lane shuffling from the cores, specifically from Empire side, to try to dodge the bad matchups.
Yeah, I suppose they're gonna lane Lifestealer against DK. It's better than Quap against DK for sure. And Quap is gonna be fine against Razor, so if they don't scout this on FlyToMoon, it's quite nice for Empire. They might go for a smoke again, just play some wards and then sit very far back to not reveal their lanes.
And I mean, it's worth noting that we talked a lot about how kind of ironclad these cores on FlyToMoon are, but you also have an Earthshaker and an AA, who I think we've kind of been ignoring because of how overtly powerful the FlyToMoon cores are. But I mean, you're looking at Dragontail with AA and Earthshaker backup. Razor with the Fissure is absolutely nuts. Like, maybe they don't have the easiest time executing their plan compared to an Earth Spirit and a Bane, who are, you know, definitely more overtly powerful, I would say, require less finesse than a Earthshaker AA, but these cores can definitely turn the tide as well. Just get a good Fissure block, and someone like Lifestealer is pretty darn sad.
Yeah, for sure.
Are you watching? That's how it's done.
So, looks like Tiny's gonna be going to the bot lane. Razor top, DK mid. It's pretty much expected.
I love the all chat voice lines.
There will be
I miss those. The chat wheel.
Wow. Dude, some people hated that shit. I loved it. Like, it never got old for me. There would be some teams that would just spam that 24/7.
Was that intentional? It looked intentional.
So as I expected, Empire is sitting super far back on their Quap and Lifestealer in order to not reveal their sneaky little plan.
You can see Shaker is looking. Wants to see
Desperately
anyone can
trying to scout the lane.
Mm-hmm. It looks like his something got killed. Poshka.
Look. Oh man, this is great. He's going so deep just for that info.
They didn't see him either.
The battle begins.
He will in a little bit, but it looks like for right now, these are good Empire lanes. They will see the Lifestealer. Let's see how fast they move. We can see Iceberg is abandoning the block, immediately swapping with that Razor. Red Spirit will find the Shaker, and we can see Spirit superior to Shaker in this scenario. But Shaker's got boots, so he's going to be fine. And now we'll see if there's going to be response from this Empire side, because this is not the matchup they wanted. Razor versus Lifestealer in mid is not a fun Lifestealer lane.
So they swap again. This is the classic situation where you just keep walking back and forth. You don't want to TP, because then the other team can TP too. So just spend half the other game just walking between lanes. This is what my pups look at this. This is what my pups look like. They're not even farming creeps.
Dude, you gotta battle for that Roche control.
What am I watching?
Well, you know what? There's a lane that's not being swapped, and that's bottom lane, where the Pango is gonna be damn difficult to kill because he could do that. So Fissure is, yeah, we'll call it a mediocre spell in this lane. But Tiny is not going to be touched. There is no way that Pango Earth Spirit can significantly pressure Tiny, especially if there's an AA or a Shaker kind of waiting behind them. So while all these other cores are moving and looking for their favorable matchups, Tiny's having the time of his life right now.
Yep. It's worth noting though that Earthshaker is not going to be very useful early game. He really needs that blink, because Fissure against like Pangalia and Quap doesn't really do that much. It's not gonna help you set up kills. So he just needs to find some lane to sap some XP, maybe do some pulls and just get that early blink.
They swapped one more time. Queen of Pain versus Razor now.
Quap TP'd though. Oh wait, they both
did, yeah.
Then I think Empire is finally happy.
I don't know, man. FlyToMoon have a pretty happy Tiny on this bottom lane. I mean, overall in that like, mid off lane scenario, yeah, it's going to be swapped around a lot. But having a Tiny that's just sitting there and now is looking at maybe an Earth Spirit kill as he does get frozen in place, will go down. Always Want to Fly is going to grab it, and another Swashbuckle. Always Want to Fly should be dead to Ghost Stick. Toss up does a little bit of damage. Fissure is available, and that will actually kill. Well, that did a lot more damage than I thought.
That's very nice. Earthshaker is gonna be happy, just 300 gold, 200 gold away from his arcane boots.
Holy crap, actually, like, Another hero that wasn't rotating at all was Bane. He's level 3 right now, and he's versus a level 2 Razor. Dude is happy as a Bane can possibly be. And maybe now looking at a Razor play? Nah, Razor's got some help coming in from behind, but Poshka's not going to be shuffling in these lanes, it's just the cores, so a high-level Bane actually does like an extraordinary amount of damage. Like his stat gain is pretty nuts, and obviously his abilities do quite a bit.
Yeah, normally when you play Razor, you rely on good trades with your Drain, but I think Bane can just stand and fight and brain sap, because this Razor is completely out of regen.
Shaker doesn't have any for him either. It looks like the Empire side may have gotten the upper hand in this, I mean, as far as mid and top are concerned, in this series of swaps.
Yeah, I agree. I think they're just gonna have to sack the Razor and make sure that the DK and Tiny are having a good time. I'm sure the Razor's gonna catch back up once he gets some space.
And it's also kind of worth noting that even though this mid lane situation for FlyToMoon is like the matchup that they kind of wanted, this is still not a bad lane for the Queen of Pain. Like she can't really harass, and that kind of sucks, but there's no way that the DK can really mess with the Queen of Pain to the point where he's pressuring her significantly. So yeah,
sure.
Shadow Strike is whatever now, but you're still getting the levels and you're still getting the farm.
Both parties are gonna be farming, so it's not a terrible matchup, but it's not as good as you would like.
This Razor, every single time he moves in, he has to move out immediately. He's level 2. Level 2 Razor is really good. 30 seconds in the game. He's pretty mediocre 4 minutes in.
Yep. Razor, when you're super far behind, is like a ranged creep. Oh, Ghostic.
Damn, that's swashbuckle though. He's gonna get caught by an avalanche. Does have a crash to jump over to Always Want to Fly, get the kill. He will drop though to a neutral attack. One of these stupid troll ranged attackers, one of them got the kill there, so Ghostic gets the kill and suicides. All planned, dude, all planned. And now...
These are the kind of extravagant plays you expect from Pangolier.
That's his whole shtick. That's the whole design philosophy. You can do stuff like that. Over towards top lane, they made a small attempt on the Razor, but now it's the Earth Spirit who's in a little bit of trouble. Will be chased out, but will get out from the Freezing Feet AoE, and we'll back off. Even though they do have a Bane that's pretty powerful and a Razor that is fairly weak, it's still hard to actually get the kill on him. You just have to kind of passively pressure him back and maybe force a little bit of extra regen out of him. He was already forced to buy another set of tangos.
It's especially hard when there is an Earthshaker in your lane too, so the moment Lifestealer rages, the Shaker is just gonna fish her in between.
By the way, oh man, the Bane had like the same amount of CS as the Razor, which is kind of stupid. Oh, they're gonna go for the Shaker instead. The roll-in is completely off, but it doesn't really matter because they landed kick onto 2 anyway, and they'll take down the Shaker. Naive, yeah, he has phase boots, but he can't go for more. This is looking like a pretty decent setup here for Empire. I mean, Ghostic he's doing okay on this bottom lane. Obviously, the Queen of Pain is doing just fine, and top lane, the Lifestealer is starting to pick up his farm as well. They're not stopping the Tiny from farming, but it's a small price to pay for standing lanes that are very threatening.
Yep, so far so good.
Oh, also, Pangolier Heartpiercer versus DK feels pretty good, man.
Feels decent. Oh, wait. I thought it only pierced base armor, but that's not true.
The way I understand, I could be wrong, but it's no matter what happens, if you get Heart Pierced, your armor is 0. It's always 0. Not any more, not any less.
Yeah, now I remember. That's true.
So,
I was confused about the Elder Titan thingy for a moment.
Yeah, it gets pretty dirty at that point. They will find Miposhka in the trees. Kill him off with the rotation of the Tiny. Has maxed out toss at this stage, so looks like we have a little bit of a swap up. Razor in the safe lane. Looks like he should be just fine, but Razor versus Pango, like as far as offensive capabilities are concerned, yeah, good luck landing that static link. They'll land another Fissure onto the Lifestealer, toss him up, Naive. Wands up, rages, and we'll be fine, albeit barely.
I don't think Razor's gonna have a good time against an over-leveled Pango either. Normally it's a decent matchup, but when you're 2 levels behind, the Pango harass is actually quite significant. So he's just pulling creeps, getting some neutrals.
It seems like this might be the least bad lane for the Razor.
Radiant's bottom
Yeah,
tower
for sure.
is under attack.
And that's not a place you want to be as Razor. Like, if you're in a situation where you're like, what lane is going to suck the least, you're probably suffering. They are looking for the Queen of Pain over in mid. FN is going to get Dragon Tailed, Fissured. Cold Feet is going to not freeze. Man, that looked like it
so
took
close.
forever. The Dragon Tail and Fissure was overlapped a little bit. Maybe could have been the difference there. So they will survive with the Queen of Pain, but now they're looking for a rotation over in the bottom lane where the Razor is going to get put to sleep. Here comes the Life Stealer and the Earth Spirit. They will all get fissured. That was impressive, but it doesn't matter.
That's just the Shaker doing his Fissure quest. With 4 or more heroes with 1 Fissure at the same time.
Now I can play normally. DK picking a fight with that Quap Dragon Tail with a double damage rune. You don't want to mess with that. Ghost Stick is going to arrive and start rolling on in. Is going to get right on top of that DK in the river, so he's able to bounce back and forth. Although he does knock him up to the high ground, still hits him. And with a Sonic Wave, gets the kill.
They needed this kill on the DK. It was just completely free farming, tanking towers at 9 minutes.
And it was, yeah, the Queen of Pain to actually get that last hit also. So, I mean, if the Queen of Pain was behind it all before, it's pretty much tied up now.
Yep. I'm quite surprised that the Dire tier 1 mid is actually not lower. Because DK tends to take it very easily against the Quap.
I saw his dragon form was used, but it was like in the middle of the river versus creeps.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Not really
Yeah,
sure.
they
the
used it for the
circumstances.
kill attempt too. But
Yeah.
now there is some damage coming in.
And there's no one defending. Queen of Pain is walking all the way back to her base. Life Stealer's bottom. Pango is top farming. This tower damage is going to add up. This is the DK specialty right here. Leave the tower for just a couple seconds, all of a sudden it's down to half.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I wonder how many javelins Ghost Stick is gonna buy.
Oshka is going to get jumped first, tossed into a shaker. Easy kill. I feel like there's just so many builds on Pangolier that I don't know.
Hero hasn't really been figured out completely.
Yeah.
It's nice to see so many people experimenting with item builds.
I feel like most of the time it's going to be kind of like a more so a utility Pangolier than a damage Pangolier. You just want to be
Yeah, I
super
think so, too.
disruptive. I like Blink Dagger a lot. Looks like he's going to be
It's like-
tanking up a little bit.
When Underlord first came out and everyone was playing him as a carry, and then for a while people noticed, hey, maybe I should build him. Meanwhile, bot.
I think Shadow Strike and right clicks should seal the deal here.
Radiant's bottom tower
Yep.
They
is
got him.
under
That was
attack.
even with a missed roll. Doesn't even matter. This Razor is just... He's level 6 with Phase Boot, so he's not super slow, but he just got just completely crushed there.
Poor non-grada. I feel bad for him.
Well, at least his allies are doing decently. Tiny's still on top of the net worth chart, close to his Blink Dagger. Iceberg died once, but takes down a tower over in the mid lane, so it could be a lot worse. Ghost Stick now gonna roll after that Shaker. This is not what you want as a Shaker. Like this, there are many situations as Shaker where you're like, God damn it, man, I wish I wasn't Shaker. Actually, he does miss the Swashbuckle,
Oh.
and he has to let the Shaker walk from that. Level 4 Swashbuckle, if that hits, it's definitely a kill. And now
Yeah,
he
for
even
sure.
swashbuckles, but doesn't break the link. And now Dragon Tail, he's dead here. He only has a single crash, and he's not even going to use it. I think Ghost Stick
That would
just
have been a
done
really
goof.
nice kill on the Shaker. He is trying to get that blink, and every single minute you delay it is really big.
Radiant's bottom tower
He's going
is
to
under
try to farm
attack.
bottom lane for that Blink Dagger.
Speaking about blinks, Tiny is opting not to go for the Shadow Blade, and is only 50 gold away from his blink.
When do you decide if it's a Shadow Blade game first or a Blink Dagger game first.
Well, the difference between Shadow Blade and Blink is quite simple. You buy a Shadow Blade if you want to catch people, like you want to run into the jungle and see if you find someone. And you buy a Blink Dagger if you want to initiate. So that's pretty much it. Do you want to find heroes somewhere, or do you want the option to just jump straight into vision and take someone out?
So it's, am I going to be hunting for them or waiting for them to come to me?
Yep.
DK, he's going to be hunted down. Silenced. Wounds
He's
opened
very
up.
tanky though.
It's a level 1 open wounds, but he's still got in range. And Sonic Wave, just to make sure they're not wasting any time, there goes Iceberg. Trying to push top lane by himself. Pretty bold move there. Tiny does have his Blink Dagger, and hopefully this threat of the Blink Dagger, Tiny will maybe get the Earthshaker a little bit of extra time to farm his Blink Dagger, though there is going to be that roll in from Ghost Stick. Finds the Shaker. Will he mess up this time? He has a decent amount of backup from the Bane. Ghost Stick is just going to start walking in with Swashbuckle this time. Will kind of hit, although Miposhka's going to get jumped from Always Want to Fly from behind. Shield crash in, but here comes the Blink Dagger. Tiny Ghost Stick needs one more shot to kill off this Shaker. He should be able to get it. Swashbuckle away.
There we go.
Will get the kill with
this
it.
time.
Got the kill. And trading away your Bane is, you don't want that to happen, obviously, but you slow down the Shaker, who's actually worth more than the Bane at this point.
Those were some top tier jukes by No Fear.
This pleases that master.
Good movement. Pangolier is pretty mobile, but yeah.
Precious bounty.
Just get out of that Swashbuckle quickly.
Go for my master.
Like that.
Yep. You can actually get stunned in the middle of the travel animation though. How did that happen?
Oh, Iceberg again on top
Good,
lane.
just
This
the
time he has
stun.
backup
You can
coming
actually
in.
TP.
Although it's just kind of a Razor. That's not really incredible backup. Is going to get the link onto the Lifestealer. Tiny's coming in as well. Naive is being taken for a walk here. He does have a Rage and an Infest. Here comes the roll in from Ghost Stick. Gonna buy that Lifestealer a good amount of space and then roll on out of there. That is some solid reinforcements. Drive-by style.
Mm-hmm.
They're really intent on playing around this top lane. FlyToMoon. Like, they're just camping out here with the DK at least, and then several other heroes as well. Kind of surprised that they have no vision in this area.
They just TP'd top to help the DK when he got ganked, and then they were kind of stuck because they TP'd.
DK's actually just going to leave the top lane entirely. Now, DK's been camping out top lane a lot, and he's actually with 2k gold as well.
Wonder what he's gonna buy. Could be a Shadow Blade, could be another Blink. I don't think he's gonna go for a Blink though, because they already have 2 jump initiators. Probably gonna be something like an Iron Blade or a Shadow Blade.
Oh, Avalanche Toss destroys the Lifestealer's health pool, but he is going to survive. Ice Blast is going to come in, does land, but it doesn't do any damage because of the Rage.
Meanwhile, top.
Razor thinks top is safe to farm. Ghost Stick is once again off with Swashbuckle, but maybe that is going to matter because he's going to TP out. The damage is enough.
No.
Dies in the base. And they're going to take down the Razor, yes. But bottom lane is being pushed.
Ghost Stick really needs to get his swashbuckling in order.
Structures are fortified.
So you cannot avoid these kind of
Radiant's
mistakes.
top tower is under attack.
His rolling has been solid.
Dire's bottom tower
seems
is
like that.
under attack.
He's missed one too many Swashbuckles, and that's like the big finishing blow.
So the answer to
Dire's bottom tower is
what
under attack.
DK is gonna build is going to be a Shadow Blade.
Radiant's middle tower is
Does he
under
have
attack.
it? He's got
He
it.
has it on the crew.
The Shadow Blade on Tiny next as well.
They also have the Blink on Shaker, and they're gonna try to go for the Lifestealer on bot.
This is a pretty heavy timing. Blink, Echo Slam, Dragon Tail. Chain Stun is real, though the Nightmare is going to buy him a couple seconds. He's free of it now, but he's going to jump into a creep there, and Ghost Stick's going to come in along with FN. Looking for Always Want to Fly. Grip goes off onto the Shaker. Sonic Wave clips onto both of them, and that'll clean up both. The Lifestealer stays alive in that melee creep. I like the
Would have
move.
been such a
I
big kill.
do, but it was just a little bit short thanks to that Bane.
Also, no Ice Blast, I believe.
Yeah, it's on cooldown.
Dire's middle
Oh, it's
tower
ready.
is under attack.
I'm not sure if he used it before, but I don't think he did. If they killed that Lifestealer before the Radiance, would have been really nice. But so far, the Blink Dagger reveal not paying off.
We haven't really talked about this Lifestealer that much. Like, he's 2-0-1. He's been fairly active in getting these kills, but his Radiance is pretty near to completion. And once you get that, the mischance up against these heroes is kind of backbreaking. Not to mention the farm rate increase you get. And he's already farming really, really rapidly in this game.
Yep, it's strong timing. As soon as you get Radiance, you can start really moving around the map and actually pressuring. Because a Lifestealer just static farming a lane or jungle is not really that spooky.
The Radiance is now up.
What you'll find
Queen of Pain is going to be going for a little bit of a more defensive build this time around in that Lincoln Spear first.
You really need this against DK. Because even with an Orchid, you're not going to be able to kill any of these Radiant heroes. So you need to build defensively so you don't die to every single gank.
We'll find the Pangolier on the bottom lane. He does have a hood. He will swashbuckle out of the Ice Blast. That's how you do it. That's Pangolier right there. You think you're going to kill him, and then no, he has this weird pseudo blink thing, and he's just out of there. And now
Speaking
they
about
turn
blinks,
around, actually, they do
300.
have a grip for Iceberg if they even need it. They just roll right in, crash onto him, find the Shaker in the back as well, get the kill. And will be able to disengage pretty cleanly. No real damage taken. They're actually still going to stick around, looking for a little more. The Shaker does get the tower denied. Naive closing in, though he still only has 1 point in open wounds, so the range is kind of pathetic here. Ice Blast Shotgun does land, but doesn't do any damage. Link goes off, but the Razor just doesn't do enough at this stage. He's just going to be isolated and with the Swashbuckle brought down. The Tiny, in the meantime, his wounds are open. He can't really get close to anyone. And they're looking for maybe a little bit more. Jump in, crash, Swashbuckle, Shaker is dead to the Infest damage. And Tiny has done nothing this entire fight. He couldn't get close enough.
This is a really clean initiation, I think. They got the kill on the DK and then they just kept going.
It's like if you don't have the DK in the front line, your Razor is Phase Yules. I mean, he is quick, I guess, but he's still not really a threatening hero.
Exactly. And he's actually not that tanky yet, so if you go on him, you can actually burst him down. He needs like 1 or 2 more defensive items. And then he can really start annoying this Lifestealer.
He needs at least that static link maxed out, dude. This is... It's so hard to play effectively as Razor from behind. Its game plan isn't really going to change. It's like, I have to link the Lifestealer. If that happens, I'm happy. But roll in towards mid. Ghost Stick. Stop the rolls. The Ice Blast is going to go off into the distance. Nothing happens off of that, but I don't know if this Razor's actually going to be able to make a comeback in this game. Even if you do link the Lifestealer, he's still doing Radiance damage.
So the Tiny actually went for both a Blink and a Shadow Blade, which is gonna help with finding heroes, but his damage is actually not that high, so I think if he combos the Corp, it's just not going to be enough damage.
For the Razor now, and another 4-man fissure. Dude, that's actually gonna get him out of there. They had the grip, but you know it would have been canceled by that fissure anyway, so again, Razor is really, damn fast.
Really serious about this quest.
Bane is going to be lost in response. A couple of good moves here from this Blink Dagger Tiny. Blink Dagger Shaker as well.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Of course, letting the DK split push in the meantime on the bottom lane. And they're actually going to look for another. They see the Earth Spirit with the Ice Blast. And it will be a little bit off there, but with the Tiny damage, they should still be able to get the kill. Over in bottom lane in the meantime, Iceberg is going to get dusted, and he's going to get swashbuckled and dropped. Sonic Wave, probably unnecessary there, but yeah, this DK split push, he's tried it several times, and it seems like every single time he's been getting punished.
Yep. He is getting some farm though, so once he gets a BKB, he should be able to get away with this cocky behavior.
Kind of expected a little bit of a steeper net worth lead for Empire here.
They're winning the fights right now, but I'm still worried.
Is under attack.
Fissure and Echo Slam onto 2. Immediately Bane is dead, and they'll maybe lose the Shaker here. Caught by that Pango. He's going to try to TP out. Looks like he will be fine. And with the Plasma Field, they'll take down the Earth Spirits. TP out from the Razor now, and looks like he too will live.
That was very nice. Clean kills.
Starting to really use these initiation items. Blink Dagger, Shadow Blade to really step it up onto the Queen of Pain. Won't get the kill, but man, they're just like flexing their muscles all over the place and trying to like get some map control just with this threat.
I was going to take a look at Always Wanna Fly's item build, what he was gonna build, maybe a Midas, and then I realized, wait, he's playing position 5, so his item build is boots, infused raindrops.
His build is done, right? This is it?
Yep. Same for Miposhka.
Feels bad, man.
Feels bad, man, indeed.
On the other end, at least, the lighter supports. You got a Vessel coming up in the Earth Spirit, but the Shaker. And you are working with quite a few assets here. Now, obviously, Blink Shaker is really all you need, and he will help out the Tiny to kill off the Earth Spirit. No, not quite. Gets Nightmared and saved, and now he's getting stun locked by the roll from Ghost Stick. He just can't move. The Ice Blast will snipe the kill in the end, but they'll lose 2 for that. That is how you want to trade as the Earth Spirit, and that is exactly the perfect situation to be a Pangolier.
Yeah, FlyToMoon didn't expect the entirety of Empire to be standing behind the Earth Spirit.
Gold is a great conductor.
Earth Spirit is just inherently kind of a tanky hero. I don't know, it seems like for FlyToMoon they have, you know, an okay gold situation, but they really don't have any way of making sure that their gold is, you know, gonna keep coming in. It seems like their farmers are just not great at farming. They just have to keep getting kills.
And they have to make sure that Empire is not getting kills, because they know that if this is an equal game in the late game, they're gonna have an edge. So as long as they don't give up too many kills, they should be fine. So I wouldn't expect them to go for any big smoke plays or roche plays. They're just gonna try to get a pick off every once in a while, and then just keep farming and pushing out lanes.
So using a Shaker ultimate on just like one guy, perfectly fine in this scenario.
They're gonna keep going for these 2-man rotations with Ice Blast.
And just trying to keep up with a Queen of Pain and Radiant's Lifestealer farm though. And the gold lead before with those cores was in the lead of the Dire, but now it's kind of stepping up and got a big smoke movement. They see Iceberg, they're gonna jump right in. There is Ghost Stick shoving away the Earthshaker, making sure that there's no Echo Slam interference. And in fact, they've found the Earthshaker and they'll just tear him apart. An easy double as Ghost Stick is gonna turn that DK gank into a twofer. With Tower as well, and split push. They are split pushing as much as they can. I'm not really sure if this is good enough though.
That was quite unfortunate. Iceberg's BKB was on the crew just seconds away from being delivered to him.
They're gonna go for more. Not really the you know, super premium tower pushers, but still, there's no one defending. Ice Blast is going to land, but it doesn't matter. And now the straight TP out, Blinks out from pretty much everyone. Miposhka may be left behind. This is just Bane things right here, but they walk in, take a free tier 3 as well. It's a small price to pay.
They're gonna be happy with that. First they got the 2 smoke kills, now a tier 3. And they basically lost nothing.
I think they actually... Oh, they lost a tower somewhere.
And a Bane.
What have we here?
Who cares about that Bane, man?
Feels Bane, man.
Hey, well, maybe one day he'll have 2k net worth. He can tell his parents back home. I'm gonna try to crack back. But here comes the roll in. Blink with the Lifestealer in tow. Already the Tiny down to half HP. Sonic Wave is going to seal the deal. As the Razor with the BKB, he hasn't really stolen enough damage. They're going to lock down that Queen of Pain. Blink out, not going to happen. Making it a 1-for-1 so far, but the Crypt goes off onto the DK. He cannot escape this Radiance burn. He will get dusted and will go down to the Swashbuckler. Ghost Stick going to push forward for more Crash. Onto the Razor with the Lifestealer right behind him. Radiance ticking away, and Ghost Stick is going to grab that with another of those Rapier strikes.
This was a very questionable call to go push the tier 2. They know they're gonna be stronger later, and still they decide to fight into this Empire lineup, which is basically at its prime.
It was like really ambitious, but at the same time, this is kind of like Pangolier in a nutshell, right? Like, you're all set up, you're all with the plan. We're gonna slowly chip out the tower, and we're gonna fissure whoever comes in response. And then he just rolls in, blinks right in with the Lifestealer inside of him, and your formation suddenly is turned to crap. Like, it's not worth anything anymore because you got this guy rolling around disrupting everything.
That was pretty much the perfect initiation. You got the triple roll.
With the drop off of the Lifestealer, so that's like 3-man Infest, 3-man Rolling Thunder. He's actually going to go for an Invisible Blade as well.
On Ghost Stick. Yes.
Yeah, Pango.
I was anticipating the Lifestealer to infest bomb with the Earth Spirit, but it's actually working quite well with this Pangolier.
It's kind of hard to miss a Blink Rolling Thunder.
That's very true.
That's a... Damn, man. They don't have anything that can really answer that. Nothing BKB piercing. Or, I guess, we'll call it BKB piercing.
They have no way to stop the Pangolier, for sure.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
They just have to try to get the initiation on him. They don't have that, like, Nyx Assassin hero, though, to actually see where the enemies are.
It's hard to stop this Pangolier from doing what he does best, because he's just gonna sit very far back and then blink in. I mean, they do have Shadow Blade, so they can catch him, but he's also a very tanky hero with his Hood Vanguard. So I think they just want to stick to the plan where they just don't fight at all right now.
It kind of seems like they need Shadow Blade / Blink Dagger to line up pretty well with their Obs wards. But currently they only have one on the map, and that's not really going to be doing them any favors, especially versus the mid lane. So they just need to have like a really ideal scenario. They'll place another Obs here. Maybe that one will do a little bit better for them, but you say they do have a better late game, and though that is true, they are currently being really firmly outfarmed. The Queen of Pain looking at a BKB next after that Orchid, and of course the Lifestealer is just getting huge with the AC now up.
And normally you have the Razor to counter a Lifestealer, but if your Razor only has a Yules and a BKB, he's not really that scary.
They're going to come in from behind, so Empire fighting in a funnel. Maybe a little bit troublesome up against a Shaker. Unless they get the initiation first, the Tiny pushing forward with smoke is going to break down to Miposhka. Ideal scenario as Ghost Stick is going to start rolling on in. He has a Lifestealer bomb inside, does dust up and find the Tiny. Keeps rolling back and forth, and the Tiny, he's not going anywhere except the grave. His allies just like abandoned him really early in that, and I guess he didn't get the memo.
Yeah, they saw the smoke and then they were just like, nope, not doing this.
They lose the Tiny, most net worth hero that they have. At this point, gotta look towards that Shaker. There is no Rolling Thunder, 15 seconds left. Oh, BKB used on the Razor. Well, good luck, guys. This is gonna be tough for FlyToMoon. Lifestealer closing in, gets the open wounds. Look at that damage with another roll in from Ghost Stick. Lands onto two of them. Grip goes off onto the DK, and no one's interrupting this. In fact, the DK is just gonna drop. There is an Echo Slam onto 2, but there's no creeps there to amplify that damage. Now the Shaker's going to go down as well. The Razor gets a pretty good link, but with the bashes coming in from Ghost Sticks, Pango, the Razor, is going to try to use himself. Not going to happen. Here comes the Tiny. He has to buy back, and he will get the kill into the Pango. The Queen of Pain's dropped pretty low as well, but they will walk away with the racks. Catapult will seal both racks' fate, in fact. Now the turnaround, the Lifestealer is going to go right on top of the DK, recognizing he's not really a threat to me. And I dare say he is probably correct, although they are short on True Sight. The DK will survive because of that. It almost seems like it doesn't matter. They were forced to buy out on at least one of those heroes. Razor. Actually, it was just the Razor. But they lose mid-racks.
In the meantime, the catapults did clean up the top tier 3 tower from Empire, so they can possibly start taking some shrines, try to regain some map control. But it's kind of tough right now because they're so far behind, and like their game plan is just very tough right now. They cannot sit passively anymore because they're gonna get out-farmed even harder. They need to make something happen on FlyToMoon.
I'm not really sure where that's gonna be. Their vision is non-existent.
Yeah, and that's even harder now because of the gem. I really like this pickup. He spends his hard-earned cash by a gem.
Always want to fly, no. Dude, gets bashed by the swashbuckle, as if that was even necessary. I mean, he places an obs that was spotted, so it's immediately going to be taken out by Mposhka. Now they go into the Roche pit. There's nothing they can do about this. They can't even scout it with the Ice Blast. I don't know, man. At least they have tier 2s, right? The split push has been pretty good about keeping these side lanes out. So
I guess so.
They don't have to worry about like immediately losing megas. If that's any consolation at all to them, which I'm not sure it is.
They have a BKB on the Tiny now too. I still feel like he's very squishy against the Lifestealer.
Where's the Bane gem? Bane is lagging. Actually, no, the Bane doesn't have the gem. Where did the gem go? It's on the Pango. Did he see the Tiny?
Did they spill?
They don't know he's in the trees. He's fine. But they walk in, grab the Aegis. Naive almost has... he does have a Nullifier soon when Courier gets out here. So BKB, Shadowblade, Yule's Scepter... Lifestealer isn't going to care about any of that. He's also pretty close to level 25, so the extra rage duration making it even more difficult for the Shaker to get initiation onto this Lifestealer. Dude, this Lifestealer is just huge with this Radiance. Like, this is kind of disgusting.
Also a Blood Turn on Quop. Really gonna help killing this support.
They found Mposhka, though. They don't have to use anything substantial for that. Lose a tower. It's just more Bane smoke things.
I think if you're playing a Bane and an entire team smokes on you, I think you're gonna be fine with it.
Kind of weird how Pango has this plus 20 strength talent. Not a strength hero.
Ah, sure, it's just tankiness. Did get a bit worse though after the last patch.
Yeah, no more. But you get some magic resistance now. Whoop-de-doo, right?
True. It's like 0.1% or some shit. It's not very significant.
Yeah.
I don't.
He has the hood already. What is his, I wonder if I see his total magic resist. 47 with the hood. It's okay.
It's decent. If he gets a good shield crash, he's gonna be so tanky.
Alright, it's like fully mute. And there, the jump in immediately. The Razor's dead. Oh no, the DK is gonna force staff out. BKBs as well, and so he's gonna survive a little bit longer. The Tiny trying to challenge that Queen of Pain, but up against one too many cores will go down. Tosses the Pango, but that shield crash defense is gonna hold strong as the Shaker now walking into a grip. That's some initiation right there. As far as a pure initiator is concerned, damn, Pango maybe even overperformed in this game.
Yep. He had some rough early game, making some mistakes with his swashbuckle, but he more than made up for it in the mid game with his amazing initiations.
So it will be a tie series here, 1-1. FlyToMoon seems like, I don't know, that I feel like it was in the very beginning, those constant lane swap ups. FlyToMoon kind of got the underhand of that one, and then they just never really recovered.
I agree. They had to put so much effort into trying to give this Razor a catch-up lane that the other heroes suffered a little bit. And then the Tiny went for a build where he had both a Blink and a Shadow Blade, so he could find heroes, but it was tough for him to just solo heroes, which is not really what you want as a Tiny. You want to find those kills and then snowball from that. But Empire just executed their game plan really well. They had this thing in mind where they would just do decently in lanes, then they would start ganking, and ultimately they outfarmed FlyToMoon so they could even win the team fights.
All right.
It seemed like Empire was a bit more on the same page this time around.
If this was a best of 3, would you consider taking care of the Pangolier with a ban? If you're FlyToMoon.
I think you would just pick a hero that can deal with it. For instance, like a Bane or a Beastmaster. It's the reason Pangolier did so well, because he basically went unchecked in the later fights. If you can't stop the roll, he's just gonna create so much space. But maybe I would. I mean, Ghostic did play it really well.
Of course, like everyone in Empire, they're working really, really well with one another. The Queen of Pain playing a kind of a slower role. We usually see Queen of Pain's, kind of play that snowball style. Lincoln Spear first, very, very defensive item. As you can see, 11, 1, and 10. Defensive item works out this.
We'll be right back.